I've made some very big mistakes, and today is going to be the day that we solve all of them. And of course, it's because I have gone ahead, tried to get something out of the way, and made a big whole mess of it. So let's get started with today's episode, of course, right around here, as I make a huge mistake to start the whole thing off. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are all going well. I have been thinking quite a bit about this area and trying to do a lot of planning between the last episode and now, of course, which is something that I normally actually do a lot of, but I had to switch a lot of things over to try and get something in this area to all of a sudden click, and I changed my idea of it a little bit. One thing that I thought of was that I have been going a lot in this gray, and I haven't been, but I've used it a lot in just this small area, which is way too much. So let's get started right there, and I want to just go ahead, get this area looking good, and I'll explain to you what my grand master plan is. Starting off, I think that this wall was way too flat. I mean, the blocks that I just removed were all along here. Ooh, when does this ever? This is a haste 4. What? How did game's broken. Okay. Basically, this wall was way too flat. So I want to start off by just making this wall pushed one block in, and we're basically doing a wall transformation video right now, which is practically what I'm doing. And I've got some idea of what we want to do here. So we want to go and put a new building inside of here eventually. So we'll have the warehouse here, we'll have a building here, and I'll explain as I say. I've said that a few times, but trust me, I will. We'll have another building in here. So that's basically all we need to know. And of course, we always do odd numbers. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a good old odd number. I'm actually, in the spirit of doing what I said, I'm going to push this in one block over there. So there's our 7 blocks. And my idea now, the Grand Master Plan, let's see if we can get ourselves up onto my crane. Oh, I think I've gone too, yeah, I went too flat with that. Okay, let's try one more time. Pro into purling. So my idea is that I think about these docks in a way that I want them to be a little bit more chaotic than what our normal builds are. For instance, we've got something there. That's actually a fairly chaotic build. If you remember when we built the windmill and all that, there's a few pieces of it which don't necessarily make too much sense. And that's what we want to do here, because I like the look of that chaotic look. And I want to do it a little bit more, as I say over here. So what we are going to do is we are going to make this building over here, but we're going to make it a very different color, contrasting this, and then we're going to do another one contrasting and another one contrasting. And eventually, hopefully this dock is going to look kind of complicated, and it's going to add to the feel of the hustle and bustle, hopefully. I know this is just me hoping for things, but you know what? If we don't do it, we can't get it right. So let's just keep going with it and see how it actually turns out. And my first idea of this, and this is something I know will at least work in theory, but in practice it might very well fall flat on its face, and that is we are going to be using everybody's absolutely favorite block, which I've got 2 stacks of on me, birch over here. So we're going to be doing birch, but not just placing birch. I mean, I'm not having a wall like that. No, I'm not that crazy. What we're going to do is we're going to be putting a wall in like this of birch, and we're going to be stripping the whole thing. And in fact, not even the whole thing. Did I swear I just went back there. I don't know. I looked away from the screen at that time. That could have been weird, but I'm going to rewatch that. I may very well have just flicked back quickly there, but whatever. Distracting me. Stop distracting me. All right, so the first thing is I want to go ahead and make this wall bigger, and we're going to be putting a door in it, so I'm not too concerned about the fact that there's going to be a whole big flat birch wall. But you know what? We got to be risky if we want some builds that look a little bit different to your average build. So first of all, knocking away most of it. The next thing is I want to go and we'll just put in these temporarily for our door 1, 2, 3, switch it around. Probably should eat, but we are a bit of a daredevil. There we go. And now what we're going to do is, this is what I was thinking, right? So it's not just a birch wall. We'll put in a little bit of a texture like that, maybe a few of those, one of those, one of those. And what that'll do is it'll mean the birch is not just plain birch the way that it normally is. And I think that's a big improvement to how birch is in terms of using it. The question is, does it make it look a little bit more contrasted and chaotic? And I think it's a good start, personally. I think what's happening here is we got that kind of boring, kind of dull. Good, because I don't want someone to find my base. But over here, bam, bright, colorful. Well, not colorful yet, but we'll make it colorful and hopefully makes this place look a little bit more vibrant. My thought is for this now, once we've got this piece in, I want to put a staircase going up here. And my plan for it is we're going to have the staircase going up there to a higher part of the village or the city. And that's going to be up there. That'll probably be more houses and markets and stuff, but further along that direction. For us over here, of course, we want the dock stuff. So we've got this piece here, maybe another place over here, which will be controlling this crane or both cranes or whatever it is. And the staircase is going to just be almost a staircase alleyway is my thought for it. And we may as well get started on the right foot here, and that is going to be, well, correct foot, obviously right, left, whatever. Not even anything to do with feet. I just used that as an analogy, but of course it's a bit late now for me to take it back. So I've committed myself. We're going with it. And over here, this is what I'm thinking. So getting started correctly, the word, is we are going to be putting in the texture of the staircase as we go. So we'll do a few of these. Mainly it is going to be a stone staircase. So there we go. This is actually, you know what, this is actually a basic texturing 101. And let me just fill these in just so we don't have empty gaps underneath there. But basic texturing has got nothing to do with the dirt. We'll just put in a few other ones like this, maybe a bit of that. And I've already probably got it wrong. Something a little bit, I don't have cobblestone. You know what? Normal basic texturing, we're just going for that. Basically, what I would have done is I would have put a bit of cobblestone in, but does that work? Probably. Yeah. You see, the idea is we just don't have all the same things all the way up. So that's good there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, get this piece looking a little bit better because, of course, this is just me getting my ideas out. We need to put in this wall as birch. This wall we'll just make a temporary wall. And then we'll go ahead and put the actual house in over here. Oh, I'm saying a house, but the building. It's going to be a building. So I've thought about what this place would be. And what I've come up with is that this is most likely going to be the place where everyone has to come to check in to this port. For instance, like a customs office. That is hideous. I'll fix that because I really need some slabs for that, but don't worry about the floor. That's all right. But basically, I think a customs office is necessary, and it gives it also a reason for where it is in location, for instance, being right in front of everything in the dock. And also, let me just do these. We need some of these. So being at the forefront of everything. Also, I think the plan that I've got for it will actually suit the idea of having a dock master. I don't even know if that's a name for someone, but it sounds cool. And that, of course, is the guy that could live in here. So we could put that guy in here and have his office just sitting here, looking over the docks and seeing who comes in, what goes out, and all that sort of stuff. So for starters, I'm going to be flipping these around. So can we get some of that just to fill the gaps? Because I am super low on spruce, and we'll also do that there, just up to this, and again over here. So we're making a cool little face on here. So if I can get a stair in there, and the good old trick there, and here. So now we should have a decent looking front piece of this. Yes, you can see that. Look at that. Don't tell me the birch is not working. I know it's working. It's slowly working, you know, just little bit by little bit. So there we go. There's the birch actually working because we've got little bits of it and not too much. And now what I want to do is I want to just make a little piece on here to cover that piece. And then because of course I want this place to have a little bit more character, I'm thinking if we could go up another level. In fact, kind of like what we've done on that piece there. I'll quickly show you before it becomes too confusing. So sort of like this idea here where we go up a little bit further. So we bring the top and the bottom together, but we've got its own specific top. And that's what we're going to be doing down there as well. So here we go. If we just give it a little bit of a mustache or whatever it would be over there, like that. Perfect. And we can extend these up maybe just a few more, and we can put on another level here. So if we go one, oh no, we're out of spruce. I knew this would come. Look at this. Only got that much spruce left. Oh, and I don't even have spruce trees grown. All right. I guess it's going to make me do it. You know what? I'm going to go cut some spruce. There we go. So one just grew. And while we are here, I thought we may as well have a little bit of a chat, you see. I don't normally do this. Normally I'm all in for the build, but I thought while we're getting a bit of this stuff, which is relevant to the build, I thought I may as well tell you guys a bit about the channel and a bit about what I've been thinking about recently in terms of what we're going to do with the channel. In fact, this particular idea I've had for quite a while, but I've just not got it right. And I think now I'm definitely along the way. Ooh, actually, I did not want to do that. Let me just break that. Makes me feel a little bit better than holding a leaf block the whole way down. So what I was saying is I've been thinking about what we want to do in terms of putting videos up on here, and what I really have been thinking about for ages, because in a weird way, what I'm about to say is what we've already done before, just way before. And that is, I want to do a bit more higher quality, so to speak, videos where we go in depth with maybe a topic in terms of going into a building topic and stuff like that. So in terms of like tutorials or something along those, build showcases, things along those lines. And when I say I've done them before, this is something that even some of the people who have been around the channel, like my Twitch channel, my YouTube channel, probably don't know, because of course it's a very long time ago. But when we started making YouTube videos, I actually started off by making tutorials, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, of course, we're kind of going a little bit further away from what we'll be doing. And the reason why I thought it was important to speak about what we are going to be doing in the future. In fact, I'll just texture this while we wait for some trees to go. The reason why is I end up being a person who tends to overdo things quite a lot. And in this particular case, I have overdone, well, take this way, I either ridiculously overdo something or ridiculously underdo something. There's no in between. And what I've been doing with these is I've definitely been overdoing them. So I've been trying my hardest to try to get a cool tutorial video that actually is entertaining and at a level that I think at least teaches someone something and seems to be a lot more better quality than what's out there. And I've been trying my hardest to get something like that, but I just haven't been happy with what I've been able to make from myself, at least recently. So what I'm going to do is I'm at least giving you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on, but what I am expecting to do is to get a bunch of different tutorials and stuff like that out in the future. And it's really just a matter of me trying to get the video itself to work, basically getting the whole process of me making them working for me, because it's a very foreign thing, as I say, despite the fact that I've done it before. It's a very foreign thing to make some video type that you don't make very often and get it at least to a level where you're happy with it. And that's what I'm trying to say, is there's a level that I wanted to be at and it's just not quite at it. So hopefully I can figure some stuff out and get them up to the level that it is. But I think in the next week, I'm just going to say, you know what? You've done it enough. Go ahead, put them up and see how they go. And I think that's what we're going to end up doing. So that's a little bit of a thing of why videos have been a little bit slower. It's because I've been overcommitting to stuff that I end up just scrapping, which is horrible. There's another tree. All right, we're good. So there we go. We're at a level now where we can put in the next part of it. So let's just check. Is that working? We go up like that. We'll do the next level. And what I'm thinking is we'll probably push this one block back and we'll have the next part of it up there. So the actual roof itself will go up there. So let's give that a little test, because I'm not 100% certain how it's going to look, because this is a new kind of idea for me. So I've put all my blocks away. All right, so basically let's just get the floor and stuff planned out so we know we're at the right level. So we've got these blocks here, which means floor will be over there, which means this needs to be a standard sort of block. We'll just put one there. And for a window to be in, we need this to be one block up. So when we stand here, we can look out the window. And then we need another one in one block above that. So planning is there. It's just a matter of changing the blocks up. Of course, also, I just realized the land below us right here, this is going to be dug out when we do the interior of this. So don't think that this is staying here. Definitely don't, because it's definitely not. The thought is just to get the front and everything outside looking good, and then we can start worrying about the stuff on the inside of this building, because that's the least important stuff. Now, let's get in with the block that I think is going to look awesome, but is going to be the most horrible block together, which is some of this, the good old mushroom stem block, the most underused, underrated block in the game, in my opinion. Of course, second to birch. I'm totally kidding about that, but it's definitely underrated and it needs a little bit more love. Look at this thing. Just look at that. The textures on that, so good. It's an off-white. It's everything I wished bone block would still be and more. It's beautiful. So let's go ahead, get away from our super cool, dumb idea of putting these blocks. Really, it is a very silly idea. I'll tell you that much, because of course, I'm going to be gathering it, so that's why it's really silly. So let's just put these in here, and I'm going to be putting a roof on this, so we have to just double check that this won't be too wide, which will make the roof look really silly. So if we can just put these in, oh no, I could not carry on knowing that that is like that. We have to just fix it immediately. We'll put these in here, and this is going to be a 7-block wide roof. The sun's going down. I'm going to be in big trouble. I think 7 may work for the front and the back, potentially, if we can go quite a bit further back. The real problem is, and I'll tell you why 7 is a weird one, is because if we do a 7, well, can I jump up there, please? If we do 7, it means that if we did another 7 blocks, for instance, in this direction, the roof's actually a square, and that kind of looks a little bit funny, but maybe it'll work. Who knows? If anything, we've got a lot of space back here to go, so it's not a big deal, but it's just a thought that it might be a little bit silly and ill-advised to go 7. All right, I can kind of see this coming together. It looks a little bit funny over here, but that's just because of the angle that we're at. Can I just get a better angle over here? Thank you. Yep, there we go. In fact, this island has come in very handy for this. So that's what we're looking at there. So you can see it sticks out a little bit. It's going to go a bit further back. I think that's going to end up working very well just to add a little bit more color. In fact, I kind of like the color of the roses in there as much as they are going. We can maybe in fact, we can maybe just put a little bit of a garden on the edge there. I didn't plan it, but you know, I like that a lot. So maybe we'll work them in somehow. But that's the overall idea. And then we'll just move it back the 7 blocks. We'll actually try 7 and see if that works. So I've gone ahead and made a little bit of a plan for this all to work out, I think in a good way. So we've got this piece here, and I was a bit concerned about the width of it and the length of it, but I think what we are going to do is we pushed it in 1 block. So instead of the roof overhanging, it's just going to be flat with the wall. But what I'm going to be doing is pushing the middle part of the wall in 1 block over here. And that hopefully means that this will look good and the front will look good without making this thing a behemoth of a build. That's really what I want to avoid. And the whole reason is I just worry when I start going into things, for instance, that are 5 wide and then 7 wide and then 9 wide and then ridiculous numbers, the builds start to go out of scale to each other. So I want to keep it as close to being in scale with one another as possible. I'm also using way too many of these blocks, so we may as well be a little bit more cautious with them, because I did have to just go and dig, well, not dig, cut down a whole bunch of trees just to get these. So that was not a big deal. Well, mushroom trees, whatever they are, mushrooms, those ones. So we had to cut a lot of them. Look at that. That is looking good. I like it. I think it'll work. Now let's put the windows in, and the first window will be just in the front here, and we won't be using a window exactly. We'll be using some fence once I get it. There we go. Some fence in there and there. And of course you won't be able to see too much from inside here. But when we go over to the other side, let's have a good look from our viewing platform around this way. Yeah, so you see, it's just got this nice little crisscross there. And of course, most of the time, we will not be standing in there looking at the build. We'll be walking past the build, coming in over there, coming in from another angle. And that definitely looks a lot better than just the glass there. Although I do want to put some glass in some places, I think this is working out pretty well. Now, while we were on the other side there, I realized the other place that needs a little bit of love was where I was thinking we could maybe put the flower bed hanging out is right over here. And what we'll do, just because we can, we could try and put in a little bit of grass. Let's just grab 2 grass blocks. I think these are Silk Touch. They are. Well, it is. The shovel is. So if we go and put these guys in around there and there, and then we'll also just grab maybe that rose bush that I put somewhere else. We'll just leave this. We'll just get 2 of these and see how these look. I think this might be a bit over the top, but it's worth a try. So 1, 2, and check out from this side. Let's see. I have the feeling it's going to not look very good. Okay, the suspense. Look at that. You see? There. Oops. Quick. Dang it. All right, you know what? I think it's actually all right. You know what? I'm actually in 2 minds on this. Because that looks just boring, but it works. That over there looks a little bit weird and maybe works. So let's make a little bit of a box for that. I think you know what? I'm going to leave this. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to leave this. I think it could work. Yes, I do like that. I think that works very, very well. In fact, I'm going to be doing this. Because I just put in one of these guys, which is actually a pretty good trick. See this? This is dark oak sapling, so it definitely wouldn't grow. I think I could still probably put a spruce in here and it shouldn't grow. And maybe even, hey, maybe nothing will grow, but I'm pretty sure that will grow there. What I want to do is I want to just put one of these in right over there. And let's check how that looks. Yeah, that's good. It gives us the opportunity to break up these corners. Look at that. Just like that, adds a little bit of color, a little bit of life. It's not quite like a home, but it seems a little bit homely. There's just so many things going on with that. I like that a lot. So that actually is working. I'm very happy. Let's go out over there. I want to see what it looks like when we come in with a boat. Here's your boat. Let's check what it looks like. Okay, good start from here. Actually, you know what? This is actually a really, really good place to look at it. You can just see all of our work coming together from that part there over to that part there. Looking very, very good. Of course, now as we're going into here, you can see the staircase going up there, the little bit of color popping, a bit of stuff happening. And of course, in the future, we're going to have the boat and all that. But really, I'm losing track of what we're here to do. We are here to go in. Let's go as slow. Is there a slow on this boat? I don't think I've ever needed that, but if there was a slow pan in with this boat, that would be cool. We're right there. Look at that. Yeah, that looks good. I can picture this working so well. When we eventually just get all other buildings in going that way, we have stuff going on at the top. It's going to work really good. But for today, of course, that is all we need to do. And I'm happy that we have solved the problem of my boring, ugly wall that was in the beginning over here. And of course, it doesn't exist anymore. So that's great. So, of course, thank you very, very much for joining me here today. I hope you have enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you in the next one.